Pocket square looks good, yeah. All right, we're live. I think we're live. Yep, we're live.
Yep, I just got the ticker.
Yeah.
Throw your glasses on, Ralph.
You guys have lunch yet?
Yep. We just did right now.
What do you guys eat?
We have Mexican food. What are you eating, Alex? Some of that chicken or what? Rotisserie chicken?
Some Korean fish.
Oh, nice.
All right.
Make sure it's fish, right?
Hmm?
You got fish in there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Korean spicy fish.
So what's going to be your commitment, Alex, for Lent?
I didn't want to share it, but I'll share it with you.
Okay.
No sweets.
No sleep. I like that. Money don't.
No sweets.
Oh, no sweets. I thought you said no sleep. And I was like, oh, okay, money don't sleep. I like that.
Actually, more sleep, less sweets. I need to sleep more.
What time do you normally go to sleep, Alex?
Lately, past 9:30, like 10:30. It's not good.
Yeah. Yeah, I had to force myself to go back to sleep at 9:30 last night.
Mm-hmm.
Because
I
if
need to
not,
sleep
then
at least
I can't wake up that early.
Right? What about you guys? Anything? Committing to anything?
No soda for me. And then getting back to my at least walking for 45 minutes. Get
That's
that
it.
cardio in.
Walking and water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Alex, I felt the difference this morning, big time.
That's more mental.
Yeah, I think after today, I will give up soda. And I told Ralph that I'm going to try to hit the gym every single day till Easter.
40
Okay.
days.
40 days, no recovery.
Even if
My
you don't do
recovery-
anything.
Huh?
Even if it's just stretching. You know what I mean? Just going.
Yeah, no, I'm going to do 40 days and my recovery will be my sleep. That's going to be my recovery. As you know, you need a recovery day. You don't want to go without a recovery day.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
So I'm going to see if I can do that. It's going to be hard, but challenging, I should say, but it could be done.
I agree.
So I'm going to see if I can.
All right. So what should we talk about today?
Let's talk about the getting back what you put in. If you put in hard work and dedication, you're going to get back good results. If you put in half-assedness, that's what you're going to get back as well.
A lot of people are working hard right now.
Let's talk about the takeover.
Mm-hmm.
The takeover.
I think a lot of people are working hard right now, but I'm trying to think of scenarios where you can work hard, but you don't get what you put in.
Yeah, that's true.
I think right now the market is changing. The biggest change is I think it's technology.
Yeah.
Big time.
Big time.
You know, so our human work isn't as valuable nowadays.
Well, right now, Alex, I mean, we're at our buddy Jesse Hernandez's real estate office, and there was a title company that was doing a presentation on their new app that they rolled out that it's free to lenders and to real estate professionals. So what's cool about this app, like you talking about technology, is that it has the mortgage calculator, right? They can do a listing presentation. So let's say they're doing an open house, they can jot down the address, and then just like list reports, it gives them like what's the best schools, what's the nearest hospital, what's the nearest school. It even broke it down like how fast is your internet service in that area. And then you're able to print it or email it to your client, that information. And then on the escrow side, so let's say you're a listing agent and you're trying to get like a seller's net sheet, you can also have that capability of being able to print and download all those costs and fees and then be able to send it to your client.
What's it called? Pacific Coast what?
It was Pacific Coast Title Company.
Yeah, you got to download that app, Alex. It's a really, looks like a very fun app. I know listing, what's it called? Listing reports? List reports? I know they charge a lot, but this one's only charging, I think, what, $10 for the year? For the year? And it has all them features, like if we're out and you want to calculate the loan amount, it'll automatically calculate everything, the taxes, the insurance, everything PITI for you, like immediately. And then you can make flyers, multiple flyers, different type of flyers with all type of, numbers and stuff on those flyers. You got to check it out, Alex. It's a really, really cool application.
How many people do you think know the numbers when it comes to mortgages?
Not that much.
Not that much, but a lot of times the clients will tell you, how much I want to keep my payment at, $5,000. And yeah, we can calculate that real quick. No problem. But this app is almost instantly.
Right. So
almost like that AI.
Right. Like that chat GPT.
Yeah.
But like what Jesse was saying, like if the client was like, I want a $5,000 budget of a payment, you would be able to put that in and then it will tell you how much they would qualify purchase power wise.
Right.
Just in the client's hands, like they're able to do that.
And it'll give you the down payment, including whatever it is, 3.5%. It'll include all the third-party fees and escrow fees and all that stuff included, like immediately.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, it's a nice app. I was really impressed with it.
So yeah, so I downloaded it. I told Jesse for $10 a year, be able to get that content and then be able to share it on social media and all that good stuff. Because I also had like little templates of information that you can be sending social media or to your clients. So it was pretty cool. But that's exactly what I was thinking about this morning, Alex. Was we're in an age now that you can't just show up to work anymore, right? You have to bring extreme value. You got to know your numbers. So when I was talking to Jesse this morning, I was like, you have to be at a point where you're like a title rep, kind of like. So for example, I was pulling up the numbers for Los Angeles County. I wanted to know how many listings are there in LA County. So there's 3,574 active listings right now. The average
How many? Hold on. How many?
3,754 units in LA County.
LA County, okay.
Yeah. The median sales price in LA County is $1,094,000. The average square foot per unit is $609 a foot.
Wow.
And there's been a 24% decrease from last month in sales. But I was telling this agent, like, you have to know all these numbers now, because just showing up to the presentation or to your listing appointment is no longer gonna do it no more. You gotta know this information in regards to when you're talking to these clients and why it's so motivating right now to buy. And it just comes down to right now that there's a lack of inventory. So we're seeing right now there is a uptick in buying, but then we're also seeing the multiple offers again. And then we had some realtors talk to us like, yeah, I had a listing in December. I was getting low ball offers. I held the listing, didn't want to go down too low. And now we're now in end of February, and I got 5 offers listed on that property. So they waited a little longer, but now they're starting to see multi offers again, and of course it goes back to the lack of listings that are out there. But I was telling Jesse, I'm like, you have to know all this information. So when you're talking to realtors or clients, and when they're asking you, is it a good time to buy? You can answer it with all this information that you're giving them. And then when realtors are asking, well, how can I prospect? You got to use technology like ChatGPT, being one of those great technologies they can use right now to give them ideas of what they can be doing for their business. Does that make sense, brother? Am I making sense?
Yeah. Well, one number that I'd be interested in is right now there's 3,754 homes listed. What's been the average for the last 10 years?
Right. So what I did was when I was pulling up my numbers this morning, I went back in 2008 because I wanted to see how many listings or properties were at that particular time. So there was 24,793 units back in 2008. So you can see the big difference from that market so now, but that we're talking about almost 15 years now.
So check this out. I just typed in. This is the amazing part of
technology.
ChatGPT. I asked it how many homes were listed on average in Los Angeles. As of September 2021, 8,500 homes on average in Los Angeles.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow.
So now,
and that was only a year ago.
Yeah, like 2 years ago. So now, 3,754. That number makes a difference because it's less than half that's on the market on average than what used to be on the market. So even if the price is doubled from 2021, it's the same demand.
Mm-hmm.
Because the inventory cut by more than half. So technically, whatever the home prices were in September 2021, even if we were to go double that, then we would have the same amount of sales, or it would be the same amount of value, actually, not sales.
Yeah. So Alex, I mean, what are you forecasting for this year to come? What are you hearing? What are you seeing? I mean, because like, for example, when I bring that up, I was thinking by, let's say, summertime, I was going to start seeing this unemployment number jump, but that's not even the case. Or notice the defaults start increasing, but that's not even the case. I mean, there's some numbers, but it's not that high, like in our other recession we had.
Well, so, I said earlier, he said that there'll be a small increase of NODs and all that stuff.
Oh, tell Alex about it.
Yeah, the guy I heard earlier, what was his name? George.
Jorge Mesa.
There you go. Very knowledgeable. He was giving a presentation. He just said that the NODs will increase coming up, but it's just going to be a short, small wave. It ain't going to be like a long wave where it's going to be months and years. It'll just be a short wave of NODs, and then we'll be back to normal on that again, which will give us the opportunity to go out there and get those people out of a home and into a home. Some people out of a home and some people into homes. So that's where we come in. So wasn't specific on when, but he just said it will be a short wave. I mean, I don't know if that's something that we can look up to really see if that's true or not, but sounds like it is. That guy was pretty knowledgeable.
Well, from my perspective, it needs to go way up or way down.
Mm-hmm.
It's a flip of a coin. But it does come down to jobs, right? So what's very hard to predict right now is how much of our industry's layoffs last year, in the last 3 to 6 months, because most of the layoffs that happened in the finance industry is now starting to affect people, right? So again, if there's NODs and foreclosures, the only way I see people letting their house go, I mean, you got to think about it, right? Like, everyone's got a ton of equity. No one wants to touch their first mortgage at a 2%, 3% rate. So you're going to have to, like, what would it take for you to let go of your house that's worth $500,000 right now, you know, with the $200,000 mortgage? Let's say 250 more. I think a lot of people are at like 60 LTV or lower. Okay. So what would it take for you to get rid of that 2% interest rate on a $500,000 home? I would think at least $1 million, at least double, right? So in that scenario, home prices will go up. But the only way people are going to sell their homes and hold on and not be able to hold on is if they don't have income, if they don't have jobs and they can't make even that 2% payment.
Mm-hmm. Right.
How feasible is that, do you think? Depending on how you guess that question is the way you should move in this market, right? That's
Yeah,
the
because
way.
honestly, sorry, Alex, because honestly, I don't see that happening in regards to unemployment. So maybe 2025, Alex, when this inflation just keeps on skyrocketing, you think, or because I don't see that happening anytime soon, that number increasing.
So let's talk about that. Okay. I want you to be able to make sense of all this. It's like, it's good to take in other people's information, right? But that information that we take from other people, we don't believe it, right? We apply it to our own theories, right? We got to have our own theories. Otherwise, if you don't stand for anything, you're going to fall for everything. That's that same concept, right? So unless you can develop your own logic, it doesn't matter what data someone tells you, right? So going back to that, I really like that analysis, that question. So I like the fact that you said the word inflation. Why would inflation cause job losses?
Right, because as the employer, your salaries is my big ticket item in my profit and loss. So I'm gonna start there first.
Okay, so inflation,
right?
though, yeah, that's a good one. That's a good starting point. So let's go dig a little bit deeper. If you're the employer and you have to pay me more, then what happens to how much you sell your ticket items for?
They're also going to increase.
Right. So technically, there's no change. It just passes on the higher price to the consumer. So
Yeah.
inflation doesn't necessarily, I mean, it could in the short term, but it shouldn't necessarily create job loss in my mind. Not over the long run, right? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
The only way I would see job loss happening in the long run is technology. If technology takes away our jobs.
Right.
Which, to be honest with you, that's something to really think about because technology is coming on strong right now with AIs. This app that we've seen, it's like no longer, calculating it by hand. Now these clients are going to be able to have it at their hand to figure it out themselves. And if I need you, I'll call you, you know, so to speak.
Right. But what do they need us for? I mean, what possibly do people need us for if they don't need us for knowledge? The AI is smarter than us. They don't need us for our bodies. They got robots that can go pick up stuff. For it's all internet delivery these days. What value do I bring? Man, this
Right.
is a sad scenario. Like, I'm worthless.
Right.
Well, good old fashioned handshake, you know, good old fashioned handshake, shaking
How much
hands and kissing babies.
How much are they going to pay you for that handshake?
Well, we get the deal. It'll be great.
So that's something to consider. So we're not there yet, obviously. So between now and then, if I look at that, right, then my principle would be exactly what Jesse said. It's like, okay, our value is that human touch, and I agree with him, right? It's that human touch to show up in the office and to say hi to people. It's that, that smile that you can't get an AI to do. How is a smile going to be replaced by an AI? How is that human touch going to be replaced by an AI? Right? It's like you got to hit the heart. You got to hit the spirit. You can't do it with knowledge alone now. Knowledge is worthless, and you can't do it by integrity. Truth, being honest is worthless now, because guess what? Blockchain technology, AI, it already provides truth and knowledge and information, right? Speed, all of that is going to be provided eventually by technology. Right? We got to think, what can technology not provide? That's what we got to focus on.
And that's then for me, what I think on that is, yeah, AI will bring all that smarts and everything, but what it does not bring is emotion.
Yes.
And when they're typing something out, it's just black and white. And that's where we come in. And when we talk to clients over the phone, we have to create that vision for benefit through our words that we choose and the tone of voice and how we're explaining things over the phone. It's our job over the phone to create that vision for benefit. Yeah, can you imagine, having this house and, saving enough money to build that nice swimming pool that you wanted in the back? Can you imagine the kids jumping off the nice rocks because you have it, the tropical, pool area, and you have that gazebo, and you got the family over there. You guys are all sharing good times and stories. Like, I'm just saying, the vision for benefit, like, you got to capture their attention when you're talking to them over the phone, because they can't see you. They can't see your emotion in your body language, but they can hear it in your voice, and you're creating that vision. So that's what we can bring to the table versus AI, emotion. Yeah.
I agree. So how can we do that? Let's think about that. How can we do that? For me, right, I feel like gratitude is a good start. Helping people to feel gratitude, right? Helping people to see the positive, feel positive. Maybe that's something we got to focus on, like, in everything that we do. I think it's possible to apply that and to offer that in everything that we do, even today, even when we do work on the black and white, the information, knowledge, training. While we're doing that, we have to focus, how can we incorporate giving people that sense of gratitude and positive and feel goodness, right? Yeah. Which means, right, then if I take it a step further, which we already do. That's why I love you, brothers. Like, you guys already do this on a daily, but that's why it's not easy to show up everywhere all the time, every day, because you show up with that positive energy, that big old smile, right? It's like, man, there's Ralph and Jesse again, showing up with
that's exactly what we got today, Ralph, or Alex, when we walked into this office today. Hey, you guys are everywhere. How's it going? And it's like we attract that vibe. Like, we create that vibe when we walk into the room. Like,
Yes.
Everybody just wants to approach us. Hey, how's it going? And
Right.
it's exactly what you just said.
That's what it is. That's what it is. I think if we are invited, okay, so if we do that, then we will always be invited to places. And if you're invited to places, then you can have opportunities, right? But then from learning from our, our past, we always want to keep it positive. Remember, even if we are in a Super Bowl game and we're the Chiefs going against the Eagles, right? At the end of the day, we need the Eagles to play us to have the champion, right? We can't look at the game only, that one game, and not think about the entire NFL. Meaning, we never want to go on a negative campaign with our competitors, because if our competitors are good enough to compete against us, more power to them and more power to us, because it's gonna continue to make us become better against each other, and we're gonna improve from it. That way, we're in the game still, right?
Yeah, we got to elevate our game.
Right. If we're the only ones standing, there's something wrong with that, right? We shouldn't be the only ones in the game, right? That means we're next to go by AI. You know?
Right.
Yep.
Yeah. So I think that's a big lesson learned for us. It's like we love our competitors, we love our competition, because we're both providing at the top of our game, and it's going to keep us on our toes.
Yeah. Right. That's true, Alex. That's true what you said, because we're here at International Real Estate Services, right? Jesse Hernandez. And he's a lender. He's a lender. We didn't know if he was here or not, but we walked in and said, can we use the office? So, yeah, sure, no problem. Go use the office. And then Jesse walks in and says, man, you guys do whatever you want here. This is your home. Like, this is your home. You know what I mean? And that's just the respect that's given to us because of the way that we carry ourselves.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And it was the same thing with our motto last week. He called and said, I want you guys there. He goes, Rafa's gonna be there, right? Yeah, absolutely. When you see him, you see me. We're both gonna be there. He's like, all right, no problem. He said, you know what though? He goes, I just want to tell you, you can talk to my agents, you can do whatever you want. He goes, I wanted you guys to talk, but he goes, I have a sponsor that's paying money to be up there, so I got to scratch that off. He goes, but you're more than welcome to talk to the agents, network with them, do what you got to do, and I don't have a problem with that. He tells me, he goes, you guys can do whatever you want here, and that's coming from our model, which is somebody that we like, and he has a great deal of respect for us, and every time he sees me, what does he say? Give my love to Alex Kim. Tell him I said hi. I said, yeah, I'll tell him. But it's just the respect level that you carry and that you bring to the table as a CEO, as a leader, as a teacher, as an advisor, and in turn, that makes us elevate our game as a leader, as an advisor, as a CEO of Home First, because that's how we feel. We have to, you want to be that person, you got to act like that person. And we feel like when we're out there that we are Home First and we are a CEO. We have to think like a CEO, of our own company, of our own, business. That's just, you're right. Everything you said was right, but that's the respect that we get when we're out there. So look, tomorrow we have a big meeting tomorrow that they came out, they came and said, hey, let's talk, no problem.
So, you know what I love about that scenario? I'm just going to tell you something, but I hope it motivates us, not not the opposite of that. So that's the ultimate order when we plant the seeds out there. Okay, when we throw out, it's like flyers. I always talk about marketing, in a different way, but marketing is like you throw out the mailers, and then when they call back because they need us, that's a good lead. That's a good qualified lead, right? So in a way, you could almost look at it as those are the only leads that count. All the other ones, you can't really look at it as potential leads. If we're the ones that went out and we're pushing and selling and convincing and selling, like we got to have that. But over time, we want to make sure that we're doing our part so that the inbounds are coming back to us, right? So great job on that. Great job on that, right? Yeah. Like for you to experience that and experience what's going to happen tomorrow, like that's just the beginning. But remember, we got to keep doing that. We can't.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we got to keep doing that.
It doesn't stop there.
And talk about what we spoke about with Alex.
Yeah. So Alex, so Ralph was saying, hey, he goes like, it may be a big opportunity for us. So he says, I don't mind going there, 5 days a week and just being there, all day. And I said, well, Ralph, I said, you understand, like we're a brand of Home First. Alex services excellence in high desert. That guy Lewis from Realty One. I think he serviced multiple channels of offices. But that's because we're Home First, we're a brand. So I told Ralph, it doesn't start there and end there. It doesn't mean we're going to be locked up for 5 days a week in an office, because at that point we become an employee of them. And that's not where we are. We're a brand. We have to continue servicing other agents, other offices, and building businesses because we are a brand. We're Home First. We help the people, we help agents, and anybody that needs our services is what we're going to do. And it doesn't stop and end there. We got to continue pushing, because if we did that, then it stops there. And then what if something happens? God forbid, it's a short time. If everything goes well, what do? We start all over? No, we have to continue. This ride will never end. It's a never ending ride, and we got to continue branding ourselves. Home First, American Dream Team, Alex Kim, and Jesse and Ralph, and we just got to keep pushing. So we're a brand. We created that for ourselves. You know what I mean? So it doesn't stop there, and it doesn't start there. That was what I told Ralph.
That is very wise.
I had to agree with Jesse, brother. That was a proud moment for me. I'm like, man, it's something that I'm like, you know what? You're right. You're right. We got to act like how Alex acts. He services all these different brokerage. We need to do the same, and then train the agents on how we work and do things.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, first of all, that's very wise for both of you. So kudos to that. But yeah, so I look at it as absolutely that's the right mindset. But if we need to accommodate, the transition period of course you're going to do that, right? Of course you're going to do that. But that's not the same as, it all depends on what's in our heart and what's in our mindset, right? It's like we're going out of our way, giving the extra mile, giving that extra red carpet service because, hey, we want to make sure that we show them that we appreciate the relationship.
Absolutely.
But we're not like dropping everything else, right? Like that's just not us. Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Right. Yeah.
So the only place you do that is in your home. You stay committed to one person and your family at home. Outside, you don't get married to one relationship. That's not smart for business, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's very smart for family, right? But most people do it the opposite. They got it all backwards.
Yeah.
Got it all backwards. So that's good.
Yep. Exciting moments, Alex. And it's going to be the year is still fresh, but it's flying by.
We haven't even started.
Yeah, exactly. Haven't even started. And I'm just anxious to see. I'm anxious to see where we're at in December, and I'll tell you why. Because I think we're on track to do very well and become great. And secondly, pumpkin spice creamer will be back for my coffee. I love that creamer, but it's seasonal only.
Is that at Starbucks?
No, it's at the supermarket, but I love that creamer, Alex. It's so good, delicious. And I barely got hooked on it this Christmas. So I can't wait to Christmas to see our results in this industry and for that creamer to be back on the shelves.
All right. Well, good job, brothers. Got to take care of some accounting stuff with this year. He's up in the office right now.
Awesome.
So,
Awesome, man. So
Thank you, Alex.
we'll see you tomorrow at 10:30 at the office.
yes. And by the way, I asked Raj to go with us so he can talk about the credit part. Okay, so I
Okay.
think that'll be helpful. Just the credit part. I need him to like volley with me on the credit part. So,
Okay.
all right.
All right, brother.
All right,
Thank you,
brothers. Good job. I will see y'all tomorrow. Let's keep this going because so someone's gonna figure out this market. It might as well be us.
Right.
Absolutely.
All
Thank
right,
you,
peace.
Alex. Have a good day.
Yep.